From last month's meeting, we've got the second reading of the floodplain ordinance that's going to be on the agenda. We will be, okay, sorry, let me leave that one for last. Another couple of things that I want to try to get on the agenda for this month is going to be the bid opening for the facade improvement is going to be on Monday, and I guess depending on what that looks like, possibly, you know, accepting the low bid for that project.
I'm sorry.
The facade improvement for City Hall. We put the bid out on that, and the bid opening is on Monday. So we'll have all of the bids back by the board meeting.
Is that just outside or inside?
Outside only.
Only.
Yeah. We'll do the inside
The whole
probably
building.
later.
The
Yeah.
whole building?
Yes. Yeah. The other thing that I really want to try to get on the agenda, today we had a stormwater audit, and we spent all day with two representatives from TDEC going over our stormwater program. And in September, we have to do our annual report. So at that time, the reporting is changing a little bit, and part of that was updating our permanent stormwater implementation plan. So MTAS has a recommended model, and of course all of this happened today, so I haven't had a chance to look at it and pull it, but likely what will happen is I'll take the MTAS model, I will put Town and Mount Carmel information in it, and then that's what we will adopt as our model. So that has to be done by September. Time permitting, I'd like to have that on the agenda just to get a little bit ahead of schedule. If you don't see it on the agenda, that's because I probably didn't have time to go through and read it and make the updates. But fortunately, the representative from TDEC was really nice. He said he would work with us. So what I plan on doing is getting it all together, sending it to him for, you know, just to look over and make sure we have everything in it. And then we'll go ahead and adopt it as our plan. So that's going to be on there too, but I don't have anything in front of me right now. So it may not be on there. If it is going to be on the agenda, I'll make sure and send it out to you all prior to that. But that might be a really advantageous plan. So that's all that I have. Also on the agenda will be swearing in of the new judge, and Jim Williams. So that's all that I have for the agenda items.
You're going to go over about what we were approached about with the, sorry, the name escaped me, park use.
Oh, yes. Okay, yesterday or the day before, I got a call from an individual who is, and I'm sorry, I don't have the note in front of me, I cannot recall his name, but he's with like ham radio. So they do like an all-night radiothon, and he requested to use the city park. So what I wanted to do, because the park is from dawn to dusk, I just wanted to make sure that everyone was okay with allowing this group to come in and do an all-night event.
With the lights on?
No,
Okay.
no, it's just they'll just be sitting up with like their radio towers and just, you know, I think he said there might be 3 or 4 people there.
What is on the programs that they do? What do they?
I think that I don't think they're actually, I don't know how it works, so I don't want to sound.
A little bit I know is they usually try to reach out and see who they can contact. They
Yeah.
maintain a list of the contacts for the different radios than trying the West Coast or they bouncing something off. But it is something that I've heard of happening before, and it has to do more with the idea of trying to keep the relevancy of ham radios and showing how it does. It's still an effective method of communication in some instances.
Is it the Hawkins and Hancock amateur radio team?
I think so.
So here's something from where they did something in Rogersville a few years ago, basically talking about a winter field day, a ham radio open house
Yes.
that had since 2007. Every January, Hams throughout North America set up a temporary transmitting station in public places for a 24-hour period to demonstrate the ham radio science, skill, and service to our community and our nation. The reason for this event is the belief that ham radio operators should practice portable emergency communication in winter environments, which this one was in January, has potential for freezing temperatures, snow, ice, presents operational concerns. Hawkins was demonstrating at the Streetersville Fire Department from 2 till 2 p.m. Sunday. So they did it at the Streetersville Fire Department one year.
Okay.
And they're looking to basically just do it up here in our park for 24 hours. I think it's a good idea.
You never know, you may have to go back to hand radio. That happens.
Would we incur any
Emergencies,
costs?
for emergencies and
No.
stuff.
I thought
No
that
cost?
was an alien.
They used to use them during the Vietnam War. If somebody wanted to get a hold of a relative, and a relative wanted to get a hold of a soldier boy, they would do that.
Okay.
Oh, like over from here to Vietnam from here?
Yeah.
That's pretty neat. I've got one on the side of my house. If anybody's interested in the antenna, you're welcome to come take it down.
My uncle used to do that when he was
I
young.
didn't think about going into the ham radio.
Well, you want to come on the side of my house and
They're
come take it
having
down?
a field day.
It's so damn expensive.
He did say, once I told him I'd give him
You
a
gotta have
call
a
back.
license.
Oh, okay, I don't know all that much
You
about
gotta have a
it.
license.
Yeah, you do have to have, that is true on that.
They have to have a
Because you'll
license.
get broadcasting without a license,
license?
FTC, and
I would say they probably are.
That
but
sounds
I'm
like
just
a
saying,
fine.
You can buy a ham radio, portable job, about $100 to do everything you want to do. I had thought about it quite a bit. I was looking for somebody to give me the $100 to start. So I don't have to use my own. No volunteers? Christian, come on.
but no, I think that's just.
Give me $100 for it.
Hey, Chris, you make 100,000 a year, don't you? You can give him.
If I did, I wouldn't be sitting here.
With them all night, just to play around with it.
Shoot.
Well, I had the old police chief up there, he died. Well, he didn't die, blew his brains out in bed. And his wife was going to give me one of his radios. And that's what.
It's a cool hobby. I
It
mean,
is. And,
just throw it as far as you can.
But his kid took all of them, so I guess he's going to.
Wow.
And I didn't care about that, you know, I can.
Well, check it out. Find out who his kid was and try to find one.
I can find one off eBay.
Maybe what they use.
But they'll handle everything. That's nothing through us. We're just basically giving permission to use the park setup to do it
Yeah.
for 24 hours.
Yeah,
I think it's great.
okay.
Tell the police that they'll be there.
Yes, well, that'd be the only, we're gonna make sure that we have police coverage just in case anything happens and, that way they feel good about it too. so.
Speaking of police, have we had any more officers here lately?
We have one on staff now that's going to the academy in July. We've got another one that came down earlier this week. We're going through an application process, background and all of that. We've had a couple more applicants that we're looking at, but as far as hiring, we've hired one so far and we're in the process with another.
We got a total of 3 now?
Yes.
Staff.
Mhm.
So
It's the third
we're
one,
going
the
back.
third one is he already been through the basics.
No, he's going in July.
You just keep putting him up on the roof.
No, he's got to ride with Mark.
Yeah, I signed yesterday, riding with Mark.
Have we ordered any new cruisers yet since we redone the plan to, I guess, your idea of going to 4 patrol officers and a sergeant and a chief, or do they get a new patrol car?
We budgeted for one.
Yes.
But we'll probably not order it until after July 1, and so it will come in likely at the end of next year,
Okay.
probably in the spring of 25.
What have we got, 3 SUVs up there
I think so.
in a sedan?
Mhm.
4.
Mhm.
And you got 4 just sitting over not being used, which they still will run. Why waste the money?
Them 2 silver ones, I heard that was wore out. Them 2 gray ones, those silver ones they're parked up there. I think they're using them for extras, that was.
Yeah.
The thing of it is, you're only going 2 miles that way and 2 miles this way. I don't see it putting a new one out there on the road just to do that. When you got some sitting over that needs to be ran, or get rid of them, before that go, do something with them.
I don't know what's wrong with them, nothing like that. I know they're in.
Ain't nothing wrong with them. Hunter Jones had one for ever so long, it just had a, excuse my French, a chicken shit siren on it.
Don't think that.
Well, I don't care, ain't nothing wrong with that. Which one was that, you remember?
I don't know.
You can hear him coming.
You wasn't even here.
All them cars run together, I mean,
You wasn't
there's
even
just a
here
bunch of
when
those
you were
there.
doing
Are
that.
they all over there now? All the
They
fish
don't
parks over
little
there?
dog tail.
Except for,
They don't little dog tail. Didn't make all of the little dogs tail.
Yeah, it was just odd sounding siren on there, and I don't know who messed with it. But you could hear him coming way off down the road, it's just unusual sound. And he liked that too. And he was probably one that fixed it to do that way. He wouldn't be the oddball.
Next question.
Go ahead.
Next question. Do we have an update on the, like when we're looking to break ground on the LPRF grant for the park, for the bathroom upgrades?
We are still trying to, and you can please print this. We're soliciting engineering and contractors to do the work. We put out like a request for proposals about 6 weeks ago, and out of 6 people or 6 firms that I've sent it to, none of them responded. So we're gonna have to do it again to try to get a response. And
Is it just not a big enough project? Is it just people are too already booked out, or just we don't know?
I don't know. It could be all of the above. Well, if you remember with the EMS building, it was really hard to find somebody to do the work. So, I mean, it was really difficult for me to find the estimated pricing for the LPRF grant. To just getting a price quote was difficult. So, but I mean, we have to have somebody to do the work, so it will happen. But we also have the requirement that came down from the state that we had to have the planning commission to approve the acceptance of the grant.
I think we done that already.
Yes,
Yeah,
and
we
that
did
was like
that.
a 3-month process, so they had to approve it, get the minutes, approve the minutes, and so we finished that. And then, we're still trying to solicit for engineers and.
Are we looking at breaking ground calendar year this year, or?
If we can get somebody that's interested in doing the work, yes. If we have to keep going out again, probably not.
Okay.
Probably looking at spring, but the solicitation will go back out again probably on Monday, and then we'll have 14 days to see if we get anybody else, or if anybody responds to it. And then once that happens, once we get a response, then we can move forward.
Because I really think that's going to be a big improvement up there when you look at improving the bathroom facilities, cleaning those up. Because the background also include the sidewalk paving, the research.
That's what I was fixing to say.
Not all of it, it will just be sections of it.
Just sections of it?
Yeah.
But that will redo the bathrooms and talk about running the water lines to have the water fountains and some things like
Yeah.
that. So this is more of a water access project than bathrooms and really anything else.
the primary focus is replacing the restrooms, and then if there's any money residual, it's gonna be, repairing the faulty places in the walking path.
Has the walking path done been started? I haven't been up there because I've been covered up for the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, nothing has happened at the park with that grant.
Please, automatic flush toilets.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
What's your phone?
it's in there. Just leave it alone.
Well, that damn sure ain't going nowhere to touch it.
And then
No,
we're just
I'll file
waiting
with
to
my
get the
family.
shade in for the outdoor classroom to have the grand opening for that.
Yeah, well, the stage,
So the
get the
stage.
stage built, and then probably do the opening later this summer
Okay.
Now, where's the stage gonna be?
at the outdoor classroom. That's part of the outdoor classroom
Okay.
project, yeah. So that will wrap that up.
So that we're looking to get done in the next couple
2
weeks.
weeks,
2
yeah.
weeks. For the stage, and the shade is just TBD on whenever you get a vendor to look at doing that.
Yeah,
Realistically though, we should be able to see that done by start of school. middle?
I'm hoping so. I've had, that's been going on for 2 months where I've had to meet them. They blew me off, reschedule, then not show up. So, I would like to see that done by this summer.
I know the school is highly anticipating that being done, and I'm sure the
Yeah.
library is too.
Yeah. I mean, it's still functional, but
Right.
the shade would help for sure.
And that's where once we start the water project, we look at how we can access water from over there to make it more efficient for,
Yeah.
okay.
Is there going to be a roof on that?
That's what we were talking about, probably like a shade structure, not a full roof or
Because we could
enclosure.
maybe, put that on the budget maybe for next year to
Mhm.
put a roof on that.
Yeah,
Because it's gonna be awful hot for the children to sit if they're on one side or the other.
yeah.
You didn't take every bit of your budget for that so far?
The stage that will finish it out. So the shade and that would come out of our budget.
You brought up that last meeting, Hopkins County there, how's the agreement going on with us and for the building use?
Well, you may have to explain.
The Hopkins County
EMS.
EMS.
Oh,
building
yeah,
there?
Services for-
as far as, yeah,
It's done.
yeah, it's done. Do you have a copy of that?
Yeah, I think,
And it's
I think
finished
we
now?
both got it. Yeah, that's been a while. I can look back through here, but
Have we adopted it already?
How about, was that sent via email?
I think so.
Then
Hold on.
maybe I do. We just talked about that. But yeah, it wrapped up.
Okay.
So the EMS building is being repaired and stuff. too.
Yeah, that was just what I think Darby or Alderman Patrick is referencing, the lease agreement that we have with
yeah,
them.
we
now.
both, April 10th, we both.
Okay.
So how often are you gonna pull, how often are you gonna pull an inspection on
I don't remember what the lease agreement said.
it? Is there something in there about how often the inspection will be done?
Quarterly, yeah.
Quarterly?
Will you be doing that?
That's the plan.
Okay.
Which I'm over there quite a bit. We have to get EMS supplies over there. That's part of the first responder agreement. like,
Okay.
So,
Oh, that's good.
so it works out.
That's really good there.
And those provided, they provide those at no cost.
Yeah, that's part of the agreement, yeah. All the supplies we use medical wise comes through them.
I know just recently from public safety meetings, I've been at the, that program is substantially impactful to EMS. You guys are providing a service that are really helping EMS bridge the gap that they're kind of finding themselves in.
Right.
And it makes, they're getting somebody on hand at a cardiac event at 5 minutes versus 20 minutes
Right.
is life or death. I mean,
No, it's
it makes a huge
definitely, I mean,
impact, so.
you can, it may not happen every call, but there's definitely calls on a regular basis that it makes a huge difference.
So the EMS, when you all get a call and there's like a fire or something, they have to go with you all.
If we have a structure fire, they do send an ambulance to stand by, I guess.
That's what I was thinking, they have always done
Has any other fire departments in the county started doing what y'all doing?
Stanley Valley is the only other one, but it's not it's only staffed when they have somebody available, so it's not in service as much as ours by any means.
But I can tell you, just speaking on behalf of the chief they speak very highly of our program. You know, they're just kind of looked at as the one everybody's wanting to model theirs after, because the chief's done a really good job of getting the guys trained, and, you know, a good crew and providing a really effective service over there. And I mean, like I've told you personally, they speak very highly of you.
That's good to hear.
I know we tabled the payroll thing, to talk about, what do we need to talk about it with the alderman's payroll? Mindy brought it.
Restricted in.
The stipend?
Was there, did you speak to the auditor before the auditor talked about that?
So the way that this came up was in discussions with our auditor about how to approach alderman time cards. And he suggested that there are other municipalities locally that issue a stipend for each alderman for the board of mayor and alderman, and then you don't deal with timesheets and auditing and that sort of thing. It's just, this is the amount that you get for being a member of the board of mayor and alderman every single month, whether you attend 15 meetings or 0 meetings. That's your compensation. So I'd mentioned that, and I know, you know, seemed to be Alderman Sugar brought it up in the meeting, and so, you know, we're here to discuss it.
Well, my position is on that, you know it's gonna be no, because you knew what you were getting into when you took the oath, when you ran for the job. It's always been this.
Do you not understand what she's saying in regards
It
to
doesn't make
keeps
no
away
difference.
from the auditing, the time cards, what's classified as a meeting, what's not?
It's a liability is what it does.
But she would be saying that each one of us would just get a certain amount of money each month, and that's it.
That's what you get now.
No, you don't.
No, you
No,
don't.
it is not.
Well,
You
some
can-
of
you can have meetings.
them, there is some of them taking advantage of it because they're trying to make a damn living off of it.
That's why we're closing the liability. That's the
And
real deal.
I have the timesheets right up on the computer, and I can tell everybody, she's the lowest one in here. He's next, I'm third, for us money-wise. I'm gonna probably get shot down, my position is send it back to the PMA and I'll vote no.
But what amount of
Well, you
money
can't tell,
was
you can't say you're gonna vote no, because that's breaking the sunshine law, so you can't
I'm not breaking the
discuss
sunshine law.
what you're gonna, how you're gonna vote.
Well, I guess we could work this one as far as we can in the work session. So what you decided is you do want to put that on your agenda for the next meeting?
Yes.
What amount are we talking about, Emily, per month? What amount would the?
It's like $166 a month is what it averages out to per board member. So it would be because we have a budget of $14,000 for the board mayor and alderman. So you divide that 14,000, it's like $2,000 each member, and then divide that over 12 months. And that's what it would be.
Well, some of you all only come to one meeting or 2 meetings.
Hey, and that's fine. There's some of us that don't do any. There's some of us that write down things on our time
So
cards
it's
that
2,000 annually.
is not considered a meeting per the thing.
2,000
Right.
divided by
Gas
12.
mileage.
I just-
write that down anymore.
$166.66 repeated. That's what it breaks down to.
What?
Who selected the time frame that this is gonna take place in?
It goes on the next election cycle, so it wouldn't even start
That's
until the
affecting
new board comes
us.
on.
It affects the next board's board.
Well,
It doesn't affect anybody sitting here right now.
Because by law, you can't change your pay rate during an election cycle. Is that correct, Ms.?
so what you're saying, it doesn't make any difference whether you do 25 meetings and I only do the 12. It's still gonna be the same pay for everybody.
That's right.
I don't agree with it.
I don't either.
I'm not greedy, and I'm not a leech. I don't need the money.
You're not, ain't nobody living off this. I mean, but it saves from things getting put on time cards
And I
that should not be
think-
put on time cards.
I think where this came from.
In other words, you're pointing your finger at me because I have to come to all the meetings. And not only that, I come in and I don't get any money when I come in for signing checks and all that stuff, so,
Yeah.
you know.
Kingsport,
And I don't even turn that in, it's when I come in.
Kingsport Ulster Alderman's paid the $200. And I think that's where it got started. And I'm against it.
Who's paying attention to Kingsport?
Well,
What they're doing on Third Ward.
I know, we can't keep up with Kingsport, the point of it is.
It's the same amount of money.
It's the same, the whole
The
point of
mayor
it
is
is.
paying on to what she come, they come.
It's the same amount of money we got allotted for it, 14,000 you said?
Yeah, for the entire ward.
And we just divided it evenly this time instead of,
Let's cut it down to even smaller amount.
Well, here's the thing, when Stephen McLean was on the board and we did the change of pay,
Yeah,
they didn't change the budget, so the budget's still the same. So, if we were going to cut it down, then we'd have to scale that budget down.
No, okay, but not even that. That's not true in the sense, because if you left it the same, you don't have a budget, because you have an open liability of how many meetings get turned in per individual.
Yeah.
So you have to stay within the budget or move money around to cover the budget, because you have an open liability that any amount of meetings can be turned in for any amount of things.
Right.
So it's a liability actually versus a true budget issue.
Well, and you have people that save time cards from January till the end of the year,
Right.
they're using two different budgets.
Turn them into quarterly, I usually turn mine quarterly.
That's what I'm.
Well, it's not really right because of the simple reason you all have less meetings that you all have to go to than I do. And so I don't, you all get the same as I
Well,
get.
that's all can be discussed at the next meeting, but
That's what everybody gets to vote for, right?
yeah, we're here to try to work out what you want to discuss in your next meeting, and it seems you definitely want to discuss this, so.
Well, I got a question for you.
Oh.
Now, we already filed ordinance. Takes effect in November. That everybody's pay will be, or her pay, I'll say, will be equal to the alderman's pay, which is $50. So how's that going to affect that?
We can't change, I'm not sure which ordinance you're talking about.
We filed an ordinance with Steve McLean, starting in January this year. The chairman, I'm getting the chairman.
Mayor's pay.
The mayor's pay will be $65, same as mine, his, hers, or whoever. It's gonna be the same.
Okay, well, I don't know because it's before my time.
No, it wasn't.
Maybe you need to,
Well,
maybe you need to
It doesn't matter, an ordinance can be changed at any
Yeah,
time.
Right.
It wouldn't be, what would happen is if something passed, an ordinance passed, it would be, that's what we would follow, not what has already passed.
I mean, if you say an ordinance can be superseded by another ordinance.
Yeah.
Right. That's not unusual. If they take something and say, replaces this particular ordinance or a particular part of an ordinance.
But you change it now, you don't get to change it for 4 years.
So you're saying we can change the
But,
ordinance?
yeah, yes, you can
Well,
change
why
the
don't you
ordinance,
just
but like I said,
wait
it still
until
doesn't go into effect.
next, in January, when
That's
the
when
new
we're-
board takes over, let them decide.
You can't change your pay.
you can change your.
Because then they
Set by the-
because then they couldn't change it for themselves, it wouldn't go into effect for the next board. So the board's got to do it ahead of time for the next board, is what you're doing this for.
Yeah.
But see, even I have to come down here and sign papers, sometimes that
Well, I
these
guess
papers
you
come in and say,
you could-
it has to
nothing
be
to do
paid
with
today,
right now.
and so I have to make a trip down here.
And that's certainly open to discussion from the commission, whether they want to differentiate the mayor position from the alderman position. There's all kinds of possibilities, but those are the discussions you need to have at a formal meeting.
And again, this is
And right now,
the next board. It
You're
has
right
nothing to do with
now,
you
it's
right
for the
now.
next mayor.
It's the next
Like I
one.
said, it's not
Then
gonna-
let the next board come in.
No,
Let
you can't, because it would go 4 more years, like you're not
It's gonna affect
understanding.
you.
Yeah, I am too. I'm not-
I know, actually you're not, because if you.
Yeah, I know what you're doing.
No, I'm actually proving that you don't know what you, like, you don't understand.
All right.
That's what I'm doing.
We can conclude this and say we're going to put it on the agenda. We all agree with that, at least. I want the majority to, I believe.
I would like to ask, I know Emily, I hate to ask, I don't know if you could find the information as to why, and I know who it started under.
It started under.
Why the mayor had to show up at the meetings. at all of the planning, at all of the meetings.
Lawson started out.
No, he did not.
Where's that?
No, he did not.
That's not written down anywhere.
You put yourself on every
That's not
committee.
written, that's not written down.
You wanted to be on every single committee, you made that very clear. That's why you
That's
attend
not a
all.
single law that says that.
Used to, and I keep harping on this, and I'm gonna say it again. Used to, 2 aldermen were appointed to, like the planning commission, the park committee. The mayor did not show up for anything but the BMA. Though I think they said he did show up every so often at the sewer, because we were in a mess with the sewer. It was more for the knowledge of it. We were supposed to, the aldermen were obligated to be able to report to the BMA what went on in the meetings, which actually it'd be best if there was, the minutes for the meetings included in our little packets. That way we would know, we would be informed of what's going on at each committee. But I don't understand why I do suspect what happened by something that I was told in regards to money was the issue being paid for these.
So what was your question again?
I would like to know how it came about, how the change came about where the mayor started showing up at all of the meetings instead of there being 2 aldermen on each committee.
So she better stay on the committees.
I can answer part of that for you.
That Lawson started.
Jones started.
No, he didn't.
Yes.
Lawson, Tammy told me
That's true.
Lawson started.
Jones
She
started.
started.
Yeah,
So,
Jones.
I can-
She's
And he
the
went
fault,
to $200.
I can answer your
No.
question.
Lawson.
Okay.
And I know this
Can you tell me that?
whenever
She's
Who
going.
several,
Huh?
sorry.
Who told you that? Who told you that?
Tammy told me that Lawson had started the $200 for the alderman, for the mayor.
That's the money for the pay, not showing up on the meetings, at the meetings. He might have, I don't know about what pay he got. We got $25, and then that once a month, and that was it, period. You got $25, and then he upped it up to $50. I don't know what the mayor's pay went up to, but he wasn't there at the meetings. He was not at any meetings. Except for that one, he got $200 a month, as far as I know, and that was it.
The mayor got $200 a meeting, but except the meetings, when the mayor comes to the other meetings, then it was $100.
Whenever I put together that spreadsheet.
That's exactly what.
That had
Yeah.
all the different committees on it, and I don't know if you remember it, it was a couple years ago when I made it, but it was a spreadsheet that had all the committees, each person that I had listed for each committee, and it had underneath that, the bylaws for each committee. And so I did a lot of reading, so I could put that together. Nowhere in there did it say that the mayor had to show up to each meeting. It did say that the mayor appointed committee members, but it did not say that the mayor had to be on the board, be present, be on the committees, or anything like that. So as far as that being a change, I don't know, I guess Mayor Stillwell could answer that question and why she believes that, but it is not written anywhere that that is how the committees have to be conducted.
Well, it's been going on since, I don't
Larry
know,
Frost.
Since Frost.
Larry Frost.
I don't think Murray Frost did it. I think Chris Jones.
No.
Chris Jones didn't do a whole lot of anything
No.
this time, except for getting himself in trouble.
Well, he did come to Parks meeting there. He was on the Parks meeting every month.
Mr.
But he was, just like she said,
Could this not easily be rectified by calling the mayor an ex officio, please correct me if I'm using that word wrong, but a member of every committee member, where they're basically like county mayors on committees, where they're a non-voting member of the committee, they can go if they want to, they're not if they want to, they're essentially just a honorary member of the committee.
Well, sure, you could do that, but I'm not sure that how it answers the question of how that would affect the pay.
Well, at that point, it's a volunteer, unless of,
I
if
guess
you're on a stipend, that's,
Well, I guess I'm saying that's, we want to take that might be a consideration, regarding the amount of time spent and therefore the pay structure. Yes, you can obviously have that. That's often what the mayor of the Hawkins County is. He back in the corner.
Right.
That he's not actually a member of the committee.
You're at the meeting to make sure that things go smoothly as far as the mayor is concerned, is what I have always been told.
But you gotta remember, there used to be strong mayor here when Ray
Exactly.
Frost was the mayor. That was a strong mayor.
Well, see, it needs to be like, the meeting that we had, it was not considered as a meeting. It is to make sure that, they, run the meetings, properly. It's the reason that the mayor has been the one.
I don't think we've ever had a meeting run properly either.
Well, we never do. It's all, because it's too divided, this board is too divided.
You're right. Now, send out, please. Motion adjourned, don't need a motion.
Anything else to come before the board for the work session?
It doesn't matter, I don't even know why we have this meeting right here.
So
Like,
hopefully,
we just started.
hopefully it gives us some.
That started, I mean, we've not had 2 meetings a month.
She did, started my account right.
The work session's hopefully give us some time to what we're going to discuss at the board meeting.
Yeah, I mean,
Thank you, Alan.
it's a good thing to have a work session. It's a good thing to have a work
I got
session.
my 2 cents worth.
I think that's 3 cents.
He got 5.
Sometimes you just.